Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Ecuador Juan Peña natural process coffee as a filter offering. Juan Peña is the producer that brings us Finca La Papaya. This is a farm you've probably seen grow in popularity over recent years. I believe they were up for a Sprudgie Award, Finca La Papaya, for Outstanding Producer. And Juan Peña is just that. He's an outstanding producer. I've had excellent Ecuadorian coffee from him for the past several years from several different roasters. And this is our first offering of Juan Peña's coffee. And this natural is going to be our first drop from his farm. And I'm really excited about this coffee. Like I said, Juan Peña, outstanding producer. This coffee is just quintessential Juan Peña Finca La Papaya. I tried several different recipes for this coffee. Our green buyer, Dakota Graff, tried several different recipes, and he actually came to me and said, "Hey, did you try the geisha recipe that you made for the Granja La Esperanza?" And I said no, and so he poured it for me, and it was delicious. So the recipe we're going to be using here is a recycle from the Granja La Esperanza geisha. We're going to be using the Kalita Wave 185, preferably ceramic or glass, but you'll get similar results with the stainless steel. Just be sure to preheat a lot and lift that filter up so it doesn't choke. We'll be brewing with 16 grams of our Juan Peña Natural, ground medium fine. This is 8 on the Baratza Encore. This is 1 on your fellow Ode, and this was 18 clicks on your Comandante C40. So we've got 16 grams of coffee. We're gonna be brewing with 250 grams of water set to 206 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, first, let's wet that paper filter. You don't actually need to wet this one as heavy as we traditionally do because this is a pretty short recipe. So we really only need to wet half of this filter. Let that drain out. Dump all that water. Let's dose our coffee. Shake that brewer flat. Now, what makes this recipe special is our fast early flow rate highlighting acidity and our slow spiral at the end that's going to bring out more body and sweetness. So first things first, I'm gonna start my timer and I'm gonna bloom 30 grams of water. So pretty quick pour. If you're over 30 because you got some chunks to hit, that's perfectly fine. But I'm gonna let this bloom for 30 seconds. So a little bit longer bloom than we did for the Granja La Esperanza geisha, but this coffee just needed a little bit more foundation on this extraction. So at 30 seconds, I'm gonna pour heavy, just straight in the middle, up to 100 grams total. And drop straight in the middle, let the sucker fill up. You're building up flow rate. Increasing our acidity, and then at 1 minute, I'm gonna pour heavy in the middle of again, all the way up to 200 grams total. And here we go. Drop heavy in the middle, stir up that coffee, raising up to 200. So now we set this higher water depth, we should see a faster flow rate. If we grind this coffee too fine and extend our drain time too much, we're going to cover up some of this more citrus flavor, and it's gonna be overcome with this like tannic black tea, like you've got a bunch of black tea leaves stuck in here. Here at 140, boom, heavy, spiral around to the outside, touching all the coffee, finishing off at 150. The other side of things, if we grind too coarse and we let our drain time happen too quickly, then we're gonna get this nice tangerine note, but we'll miss some sweetness, we'll miss some complexity, and we'll lose texture. It's gonna taste like we've got some tangerine juice in a really weak coffee. So let it do its thing. This should drain around 2.5 minutes. And it's gonna be all right. This is more, it's more absorbent than the Granhala Esperanza was. It's not quite as dense. And so you may have some pooling of water at around that 230, 240 mark. That's gonna be all right. I can see the ground coffee in here, so I'm gonna take this off at 240. Yeah. Just let that do its thing. If you do that and you notice your cup is a little bit too strong, then just extend your drain time a little bit. When we reach that 3-minute mark is really when we have drained too long for this coffee. But even here, you've got enough to split a nice cup, because when we're balanced, this coffee tastes like plum, tangerine, molasses, and that natural processing is one of the purest flavors of cascara or coffee cherry that I've ever experienced. Serve and enjoy.